This episode contains discussion of eating disorders, so please take care while listening. If you relate to Aoife's story of disordered eating, please do get help from your doctor or reach out to bodywise.ie or call their helpline for support on 01 210 7906. And you're now back in love with someone?
I'm in love. Thank God we can talk about this. Do you know, when I was so bitchy and so like moody all the time because I was starving.
Hungry, yeah.
Like I was just hungry. It was actually like such drama. I remember I never talked about it for ages because I was like, I'm protecting my peace.
Yeah.
Like,
hi guys, and welcome to this week's episode of Hold My Drink. Hold My Drink is like a podcast. I know my sheet today. Like a group chat between your best friends. The girls brought on a night out where you spill all the gossip on relationships, cinemas and life. We also have fabulous guests.
yes.
From time to time. Really good ones, especially today. And
Really enjoyed today.
Really enjoyed today. But yeah, we have episodes out every Wednesday. Mondays we have extra juice. We do kind of an extra kind of, what's the word? I'm not going to say unhinged, it's not, but like extra little bits.
Yeah.
Extra dilemmas. And then full video. So if you want to watch some video as well as audio or you want to wait till tomorrow, full video is 12 on Thursdays. So you can watch us there. But today we have Aoife O'Farrell.
Love her.
Podcast. Or Mia Khalifa, if you know her as that, because that comes up on TikTok. I've been following her, can't remember how long, but I just love her. I follow a lot of people, and I love a lot of people, but I just really love her.
She's just so cool.
She's just so cool.
Can't get over her
So
nails.
nice, wise.
A wise woman.
And she's a Leo, so that actually makes a lot of sense why I love her so much.
It was perfect. I was telling her, I was like, as soon as me and Charmy and Leo were like, oh, it's fine.
Every time, like every Leo we've had, like GK Barry on the pod.
We're just always like, this grand.
Yeah, it just feels like a normal.
It flows.
It flows. Yeah. We talked about everything from starting social media, her masters, her undergrad, exes, new love, Claddagh, being Irish, and as well about how much she's an advocate for therapy. And also we talked about eating disorders, which we haven't done. If we have, we've touched on it very lightly, but I think we had a really nice...
I don't think we went into that much detail ever before in a good way. Like it wasn't...
Yeah. I think it's really eye-opening to hear it from
100%.
someone who's been through it. And I think in Ireland it's something not talked about enough. And we have so many younger followers on here that will need to hear things like that.
Yeah.
And we definitely recommend following.
So many people can benefit from it.
Yeah. So really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed filming it. And we'll see you next week. This week on How My Drink, we are joined by the coolest girl on the internet.
Coolest.
We have Aoife O'Farrell.
I'm surprised you could fit me in. You're too busy holding up all the planes.
Honestly, and she I'm missing them as well.
Oh yeah. No, you
Manchester.
have so much time faking your 5Ks. So
Yeah. I have them on speed dial and just wait for you to file it. Your outfit is insane.
You look
so cool.
Oh my God, the camera get a flick of there's your camera, your nails. Oh, hold up your nails.
I'm upset.
I love them. They're so fun. My nail artist is the best ever. Say does my nails. No, anyone in Manchester.
5 hours.
So cool. Yeah.
In the chair.
Well, I was getting my last set off too.
Okay.
Swapped my shape.
Yeah.
Was feeling a bit crazy. I'm usually a stiletto girl.
Oh yeah.
Things are pretty crazy for me these days. So went to the square.
I feel like square and set was like two different personality types.
Yeah, I go through both. Or I go short or long. Or just depending on what mood I'm in that week. I'm like, no, fuck it, we're going all out. Or else I'm like, no, I'm only a little girl. Like, all cute.
Sometimes I see people. I love getting like stuff in my nails but then I see people with like really short, clean, just French.
Yeah,
like,
and it looks really nice and bright. I just
nice.
could never be me.
I know.
Like, but these squares, I didn't realize how much I used my nails as utensils. Like, because they were stiletto, I was parting my hair with them.
Perfect.
I was picking coins were no bother. I can't do anything.
Oh my God, I didn't even thought of that.
Worth it though.
I've seen opening boxes.
Yeah. Like anything, like envelopes.
I've seen hair extensionists and they'll only get like their pinky and like their ring finger as like long stilettos to like part hair.
It's so handy.
So cool.
It must be really because it's real sharp.
Yeah, just
really good.
My old singing teacher used to have one long nail on his pinky or was it his pinky or his thumb? To like use it as a pick on his guitar.
Oh, I was going to say, is he Chinese? Because I think there's something in Chinese culture that if you have like a long pinky finger, it's something
You're
to do with
right,
good
there
luck.
is something like,
Or is it a hair?
No, there is one culture that has the long fingernail. But yeah, he had the long, and in the lessons he'd like make me sing, and he'd just be filing the big nail.
Okay, no, ew.
I know.
That's a bit mad.
And he wouldn't teach me only, he'd be like, yeah, that's grand, do it, this song now.
Oh,
on YouTube on karaoke.
He just wanted
50 € an hour.
He just wanted to
Just
file
in
his
the background.
nails.
Oh, so when did you start getting into post online?
what year is it now? 2025.
25, yeah.
2023. It's like the summer of 2023. It was actually like such drama. I remember I never talked about it for ages because I was like, I'm protecting my peace.
Yeah.
Like, if this, but like, can I swear?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to double check. But we felt, me and my best mate, we lived in a house of 5 of us, 3 boys and us 2, and we had this big, it was actually the smallest fight. It was over roast dinner. Oh. The smallest fight in history. They turned around to us like we were about to move out in 2 months' time and move into another house with them.
Yeah.
And they were like, we don't want to live with you anymore after that fight. Like, I don't think.
What was the roast dinner fight? Was it?
We were all meant to go for a roast on a Sunday. And then one of them turned around and was like, I had a bad day in work. I'm not going. Like, I'm not going to this roast. And we were like, right, okay. Like, for hers. And then the other one was like, yeah, like, I just don't feel like it, whatever. And then mate was like, yous are so flaky. Like, I'm just sick of this because it was kind of the same kind of thing.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
But like it happened like often, and then she was like, I'm just sick of this, and all turned into this big thing. We didn't speak for 3 days, lived in the house with them 3 days, didn't speak. And then they were like, listen, just want to say we're really sorry for how like we spoke to you and all, but we need to go our separate ways. Like, we need to not live together. And we were
thought it would be like a house issue, not a roast, not going for a roast dinner.
The smallest argument ever. It was actually insane. And then we were like, if you do this, we are not friends anymore, because we were homeless. Actually, like we didn't have anywhere to live. Like,
you're in university,
going into final year.
Mm.
And in Liverpool, you have to choose your house in like October to move in the following July.
Oh wow!
So it's really, really early, like the housing market for students and stuff, because they're all absolute shitholes. Like nobody, you know, you're trying to get the ones that have like the least roof falling down.
Different,
you know.
Yeah.
So it was 2 months before we moved out, and we were like, we have nowhere to live. That was the most stressful time of my life. We lived in this house for them for 2 months, never spoke a word. Not one word.
So awkward.
It was awful. So then I was like, I need something to do with my time.
Yeah.
So I started posting on TikTok.
Wow.
So it was great.
Do you remember your first video? Like, were you doing it like kind of casually, or were you like full in?
See, I was that girl in school though who did post like trends and stuff.
Okay.
So like even from like, I'd say 2020 is probably the first time I ever posted on TikTok, but it was like just the silly trends everyone be doing, like
the dance. Did you dance?
Like, no, I didn't do the dancing.
Oh, you're
I couldn't dance. I couldn't get away with that. I remember I posted one dance video ever, and it got sent into like every single boys group chat, and so I never did it again.
No, because it was so good.
Yeah, they were like, obviously you so much.
Yeah,
she should
do that all the time.
Yeah, it was a lot.
Obviously.
So then kind of like started posting the odd speaking video, but I used to post really like crazy stories but like I would never tell them now. Do you know what I mean? Because I was like, I have like 5,000 followers, like, and it was like no big deal. No one's gonna see them. And then I posted a Vinted video of like me putting stuff that I was posting on Vinted, and I was like, oh, I don't like this dress or whatever. Yeah. And then it got like, I think it got like 150,000 likes, and I was like, wow, I'm gonna drop out of uni.
Yeah, I made it.
Like now, it got me to like 30k, and I was so made up. And then I just started posting like.
And did everything sell on Vinted then? It was just gone.
Yeah. I have 10,000 followers on Vinted.
Wow,
like, it's actually so.
You can get followers on Vinted.
Yeah. Apparently so.
That's a flex. I would
Do they get updated then when you upload something? Like,
yeah, they get a notification when like, Aoife O'Farrell's posted, and then like it sells so quick. It's so handy.
Really?
It's amazing. It's really, really brilliant. And I've done like a brand deal with Vinted since. It's just awesome.
Oh,
yeah, it's really, really
that's
good.
unreal.
That's so fucking handy.
So great.
We need to get on that. Is it easy to like to sell on and all? Because Depop is a bit long sometimes.
Depop's a nightmare.
Is it?
Yeah.
She wants to sponsor me.
Yeah.
Love Depop.
It's just
it's so much hard.
Yeah.
Vintage short. Like I love it. And then because it's like handier, I just like can just go, blue top.
Wow.
Yeah. You
don't need to put in the brand and everything.
Do they take a lot of percentage off you though?
None. There's no seller fees on Vinted.
Wow,
it's unreal. And then the buyer pays for postage as well. So
brilliant.
really,
You're not
really
paying
good.
postage then.
And then my friend
send you a QR code.
Yeah, so you literally you have your package. Lauren was doing it. They literally just give them the package and they scan it and then it's gone. You don't need to write their
It's the
address.
handiest thing ever.
What?
It's unreal.
That's mad.
See me later on.
Yeah.
Don't you feel like Robert, a businesswoman when you're on it?
Yeah, like I've got like 20 packages.
Literally.
Postman hates me.
You buy loads on it as well, though. I feel like you find really good things.
I love Vinted. These shoes from Vinted.
Wow.
The trousers. This whole outfit actually.
Is it?
Including the belt.
What do you have something in your brain? You're like, right, I need to find this. I'll type it in, or do you just like come across?
Scroll.
Is there like an explore page?
Yeah, there's a recommend. My screen time on Vinted I think is more than TikTok.
I wish I could do it.
It's like my
I'm a
social
really
media.
bad online shopper. I can't.
Me too, but there's a recommended.
Right.
So you don't have to search for anything.
It knows what you like.
It just
it's
knows
like
what
an
you like. I don't
algorithm.
know how it does it, but I love it. I'm so thankful.
That's
God,
so
we
cool.
need to get on the vintage bus.
Yeah, we really do.
How
So
have
good.
you found, obviously, now, like, having a following and, like, your life changing a little bit? Obviously, you're doing your master's now.
Yeah.
Is your master's, is it psychology or fashion marketing?
Fashion marketing.
Fashion marketing, okay.
My undergrad was
But you're
psychology.
doing psychology, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that hard to balance now, having, like, kind of another job on the side as
That-
doing it, or no?
Like, no, to be fair, I'm in such an incredible position that I'm able to do social media and not have like a in-person part-time job or full-time job. Like, so many people doing
Yeah.
their masters are working 40 hours a week.
How?
So like,
So
God
did
loved
you
it
never have to do
because
that? You went straight into masters having TikTok as your wow.
It was literally incredible because I
Wow.
worked the whole way through my undergrad, obviously,
Yeah.
and then started my masters doing social media, and it's just like, because people always ask about the balance, and I'm like, the balance is so
Perfect,
easy because
yeah.
I'm in
Yeah.
such an unreal position. Like,
yeah.
you know, most people have to work through uni. That's just normal.
Yeah,
course.
But like,
of course.
it's actually, I'm so lucky. It's
Yeah.
insane. And like, I love my masters, so the balance is
Is it
so much
good?
easier too. It's so good.
Where do
I
you
love
do it?
It's Manchester Fashion Institute, but it's
Okay.
like off Met.
Wow.
So,
and do you
it's
think
super
you'll
good.
go into that industry after?
I'd love to.
You
Would
want
you?
to?
I would love to.
Like, what is it that they actually do? And like, is that like all visual merchandising, or is it like no?
It's like, so from my last assignment, we were doing like a marketing strategy for a brand. So it would be like, I chose Reformation and we were doing like launching Reformation in Manchester. So you had to
Right.
plan the entire launch, like all the budget and like all the online advertising, all the
Events
in-person
and all.
advertising, events.
Yeah,
Yeah, like
yeah.
promo. And then there'd be other ones where you're making up like brand concepts.
That's
Where
fun.
it's but it's so crazy because I did psychology for my undergrad and it's so analytical and this is why people act the way they do.
Okay.
And then now I'm going on, they're like, what does this brand sound like?
It's so creative. Yeah.
I'm like,
It's very different.
What does it feel like?
Like literally, they're like, give me if you were to describe the feel, and I'm like, fabric.
Wow. Soft? I don't know.
Yeah, awesome.
So it's so creative compared to
Yeah.
psychology, like.
So my
And I'm sure
brain-
that fits into like your social media life as well.
it's so
Yeah, it
amazing.
makes sense.
It's just so like goes so hand in hand. I have such a good. I feel like because I came from a completely unrelated undergrad and loads of people did like fashion undergrads. I still feel like I'm up there with them because like that's basically all. Like if I'm doing fashion stuff on TikTok, that is fashion
What you're
marketing.
doing,
Fashion,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
marketing for
true.
brands and stuff. So it's so hand in hand. It's
No, that's
unreal.
so nice. to
And
have that.
with psychology, like, do you find you've learned a lot of things about like yourself and all through doing that course?
Don't
Yeah.
analyze.
Was it like your own?
Oh
Yeah. Are you able to like psychoanalyze people?
Please
God,
don't.
no.
No. Yeah, that hurts. Not even 3 years.
I try. Oh God,
Because
no,
I
it was
feel like you're so. I always see your TikToks and you've so much good advice, and I'm like, is that
Mm.
true? Are you just naturally good at that, or is that
Gifted.
from your
no.
yeah?
There was no natural ability there whatsoever
No.
until I
Oh,
did
okay.
psychology. Like when I went to uni, I was the worst version of myself. And like obviously,
Really?
you know, people are 18, 19, like they're not
Yeah.
gonna be the best person you've ever
No.
met.
You haven't
And
a
like
clue what's going on at that age.
especially coming from Ireland, like so
You're like
much
the
of us are
worst
just
person.
dickheads.
Yeah.
No,
Like
Yeah.
when you're a teenager.
Yeah.
But psychology, like, oh my God, if I learned nothing, I learned everything about myself. Like I could not be more thankful for doing it. It's
Wow.
unreal. I think so many people hate it, but if you're coming in and you're like not tapped, you probably don't like it as much. I was like, shit, yeah, like that's what's wrong with me.
healed.
And then it was amazing. Like I just feel like I
Wow.
learned so much. My coping mechanisms, everything. Like, oh my God, my mental health just like skyrocketed from when I started paying attention. I
Wow.
was like, they know what they're talking about.
And if you'd have
Real.
kept that on, what would it have? Like, what jobs could you have gotten into with that?
It
like
depends. Because psychology,
You do add it on.
it's
add on
so
stuff
hard to
too.
get a job with a psychology
Yeah.
degree. It's really, really hard unless you do a master's. And I would have loved to do a criminal psychology master's, which
Shit, me
is
now. Not that I could ever do it, but I love crime and all.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen Mindhunters?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what
No.
they do. They're criminal psychology. Like,
Okay.
Is it like Criminal Minds? I used to love that show.
I think so. I haven't.
'Cause
Actually
they
seen it.
like make like fake profiles. Is that kind of what it is? Like profiling?
It's like it was the start of criminal psychology, really, and they would like
Okay.
interview criminals, and then
That'd be
this is if
fascinating.
anyone's a criminal psychologist, I hope not offend you. What a terrible definition is, but you basically like find out why they did what they did to try and prevent it in the future, and it's
Oh.
That's
just
fascinating.
yeah, really unreal. But I would have
Wow.
had to come to London. Not
Okay.
come to London. We're not in London, but like I would have
Yeah,
had to go to
go to
London
London,
to
yeah,
do my
yeah.
masters, and it's just so expensive. So I was like, I'll do, or I could have done clinical, which is like people who've been in injuries, helping them
Yeah.
come to terms with it and stuff. But then I was like, let's do fashion instead.
Perfect. I feel like fashion
Completely
market, like
related.
if you do end up getting a job in that, you doing social media actually helps it
So
because you're
helpful.
gonna want to like advertise yourself. I don't know what would your job? What job titles can you get?
I don't know. I'd love to go into, this is not to say that I would be any good at it whatsoever, but I would love to go into styling, like being a stylist.
You 100%.
Yeah.
And stylists, when they have a following, like, it's better.
And like you are a personal brand, really. When
100%.
so it shows that you can build a brand, which obviously is so valuable, especially now with like all marketing is online. So I'd love to do that, but I don't like. It's just who you know. You just got to get into the industry.
Yeah. Who's your favorite stylist that you know?
Great question.
I don't know their names.
TikTokers. Like I swear, the creativity I see on TikTok is next level. It's actually incredible.
Yeah.
That I just wouldn't even know like professional stylists. No. But I'm like, I see people that I'm like, you need to be.
See everybody slagging Alex Earl's stylist.
Yeah, I haven't.
Yeah.
They're like, please sack that stylist.
She came back and said, she was like, I got a stylist so I'd wear things that I wouldn't usually wear. That's why I'm dressed different. So I was like, you're paying someone. You kind of want them to pick things that you wouldn't necessarily pick for yourself. I would hope.
I like people that are a bit out there and weird, like Dochi stylish. Like,
So
yeah.
Do you follow you know Bad Kid HQ? She's on Instagram. You would love her style.
Would I?
Oh my god, she's so you.
I just love when you can tell someone's got something that is like kind of objectively a really ugly item of clothing. And then they just make it work.
Unreal.
Like it looks so good because you're like, you had a vision. Yeah. And you saw it through. The amount of times I show people, I'm like, I bought this. And they're like, what the fuck? That's awful.
That happens sometimes.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's rotten, but sometimes it's not.
No, I think you can pull off anything once you wear it with confidence.
Yeah.
And
everything.
You're rocking it. Like that's what.
Once you have confidence in life, you can carry yourself through anything.
Yeah. You look as good as you think you do.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Walk into a room with your head held high and people will notice
in a bin bag. That's fine.
Perfect. Yeah, I love that.
Well, that's what Marilyn Monroe did that, didn't she? She did a potato sack photo shoot.
And I'd say she looks banging.
She looks so good.
She would look good.
And you look like her.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But someone was like, oh, you'd look good in a potato sack. And so she did a photo shoot with it.
Oh, I love it.
It was really cool.
What an icon.
That's brilliant.
I love her.
That's really good.
So talking about social media, I saw the other day you were saying that you think it's like quantity over quality when it comes to posting. Do you think that if you were saying, what did you say?
That was controversial apparently.
No, I actually agree with it, but especially with TikTok.
Yeah.
Maybe not Instagram because the algorithm will be like, why is she posting 10 times a day?
Yeah,
but
they'd be like, no.
On TikTok, the more I've been noticed, the more I post, the more people are going to see it because your video is going to be on their feed more. Yeah. You're posting more.
It's just the algorithm as well, I think. Yeah. Because I think also people get so disheartened when it comes to TikTok because they'll put so much time and effort into one video and post once a week and then it's not doing well even though it's such a good video. But then like people who are posting every single day are getting so many more followers and stuff because the more your face comes up on someone's page, the more they're like, oh, may as well follow her.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying someone was like, so you think just post shit. I'm like, no, post what you want to post. But like
people take back
don't overthink
so good.
it.
Like someone was like, so you think I should just like not put any thought into what I post? And I was like, it's not. I'm not saying like post really really bad
they'll
videos.
Take your words, twist it to anything. Like, but I get like that with TikTok. I'll overthink the fuck out of a video. I didn't talk on TikTok for the longest time. I still don't really like, and I'd never just open the app and press go. Are you crazy?
They're the one. That's the ones that do well for some reason. It's like TikTok's like, how long did she take doing that?
Yeah.
Oh, it's too long.
Like if you have 6 drafts.
No.
Yeah.
I'll overthink shit out of it. I'll put it on 12 different apps before it actually goes on TikTok and I like pick a perfect song and I'll then just brutal and then I'm going, do you know what? I'm sacking this in.
I quit.
I just post random shit. Like
I need that in my life.
Probably until I don't. Do you know what I mean? Like it'll be until I say something terrible and everyone's like,
no.
People get offended with that.
Oh my god!
Like,
don't talk to me.
Everything. Do you feel like you do like have to monitor if you put something up? Do you think about it too much, or are you just like it's gone, it's up?
No, I mean I used to be the really annoying girl in school who would post like 20 million times on a private story a day.
Okay.
And now I just like don't ever use my private story because I just use Snapchat instead. Yeah. But I think like people will find an issue obviously with anything you say, but if you don't have opinions that are actually like really terrible opinions, then people aren't really going to find an issue. If you're not like a horrible person, and I'm not saying, oh, I'm not an angel on earth. Like,
no,
I would never want people to think that, but like, I'm not like homophobic or racist or anything, so I'm not afraid of posting something that people are going to be like, she's actually a dick.
Okay.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
No, like your opinions aren't for really bad things.
Yeah.
They're for like,
and I don't post anything crazy anyway. I don't really post anything.
You're not setting out to like piss people off.
No, I don't like, I couldn't do people who are like obviously shock value and stuff.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
No.
Because I like, they get so much hate and I just be like, oh, I
wouldn't be able to handle it.
Yeah, people are crazy.
Because you're going to get hate no matter what you post.
Yeah,
but
true.
If I was getting every single comment being hate comments, I would just not do it.
There's an American girl actually, and she comes up for me all the time. And I think it is just like she's just only posts shock value videos. And it's like her in the car, but like she just does be absolutely ripping into people and just...
Is it HRH collection?
I don't know.
I've seen her. Is she not? Does she have the jewelry brand or something?
I don't know. There's some brunette girl and she's just always
maybe it is
human and angry and just giving out all the time.
I thought
like,
when you said shock factor, I thought it was like people doing like clickbait stuff at the start of the video.
Well, that as well, kind of thing.
Yeah. What advice would you give to someone starting now social media? Would you just literally say, like you said,
do
it?
My main thing is also, if you don't do it, someone else is going to, and they'll do a worse job and they'll be more successful.
Okay, that's annoying.
Do you know what I mean? There's always someone who's going to do something worse than you and be more successful at it, so you may as well just make it. You know what I mean? Like, you literally only have one life, and like, it's so crazy when I think about that. Like, why are you so worried about what people are going to think about you posting a video on the internet?
Because you can literally die tomorrow.
Do you know what I mean? Like like once upon a time, Alex Earl had no followers. Emma Chamberlain, like you two had no followers. I had no followers. What like people do just start with absolutely zero, no matter who you are.
Yeah.
So literally,
you don't just wake up with followers one day.
You don't wake up and be handed an account with 10 million followers. Like that's not.
So that would be lovely. But
everyone has like that awkward stage where it's like
you're
like in between,
and
you have to just get over the hump. It's like a big block.
And no matter what you do in life, people are gonna make fun of you. So you may as well give them something to make fun of instead of people like, you know.
I love that.
I'm just like, no one actually cares, and it's always the people who are making fun of you that come back to you afterwards and be like, so how did you get into it?
Yeah,
always. You know I mean? So you may as well
every single time.
Have you
or like,
had
well
anybody
done
ever like from the past kind of come back to you now that they see you kind of popping off?
Ooh, but I think like it's not, I wouldn't like hold it against someone, because I think loads of it is if people said something when they're like 16 or 17, I'm always like, I said stuff when I was 16 or 17 that I definitely didn't mean. And like I definitely would have bitched about like influencers or whatever because I was jealous.
Okay.
And like
I seen you say that in a video. I was like, oh my God.
I can look back and be like, that is so crazy that I was just like so jealous of her and that she could do that and not care what people thought, because I obviously cared so much what people think. And then there's always people being like if someone comes to me and they're like, oh, you've done so well for yourself, like, how did you get into it? I'm like, so obviously anything you said back then was just because
that's
just because you wanted to do it yourself.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I always think as well, like sometimes they don't even necessarily want to do that, but it could be stepping out in any sense of the word, like a business, like any sense. But if they
might not be social media.
If they see someone who can step out and do anything, they're like,
fuck you.
Yeah. It's so easily done though.
Yeah.
So easy done to just be like, they annoy me and I don't know why. You know
what
I mean? But like, you do know why really deep down.
It's jealousy.
Do you get much like online hate and stuff, or has it like...
I'm actually, touch wood, I've been pretty lucky. Like, to be fair, I think I will back myself. You know, if someone's giving me hate, like I've never set myself up on the internet to be like real, like, peaches and cream, like really, really sweetheart. So I think people don't think I'm just going to sit and take it. Maybe.
That's good.
Yeah, that's true.
But I don't know, because also so many strong, independent women also get so much hate. So it's not to say that like they would sit and take it, but
yeah,
I don't know. Sense. And I also think like my audience is predominantly women, and so if anyone does give me hate, they are in there like vultures.
Oh, to back you up. I love that. Isn't that so nice?
Really, it's really lovely. Yeah. Or like if I reply back like a cheeky reply or something, then it's always like my comment gets way more like.
Yeah, and like yes, girl.
Get it.
I love that.
Or do you ever see like even like hours or days later, they're still fighting with people in the comments?
Yeah. There'll be like 150 replies. I'm like,
literally. I'm like, I can't, and I get lost because sometimes the name
they don't reply properly.
Yeah, it's a lot.
No, they do.
A lot of people follow you for your style. When did fashion first start to become like such a big part in your life?
Were you ever a boring fashion girl? Yeah.
Oh God, yeah.
Were you?
I had my fast fashion phase.
Did you?
When I first started posting on TikTok, I was posting like Shein hauls.
Okay.
And like I just would never do that now. And like I just would never shop on Shein or anything now. But it's everyone, especially coming from Ireland, we all have really similar styles at some point in our lives.
Yeah.
It's like
especially when we were younger, when we all gone around like clones of each other.
Copy paste.
Like the leggings, the Gael talk hoodie, like it was just all the exact same. But my mom, she's so stylish. Like I would say like my mom's one of the only moms that I know that like I would never question her buying me anything because I know she's gonna get it right. Do you know what I mean? Like she never buys me anything that I'm like, God, I wouldn't wear that. Like she just knows.
Oh my God. Would you ever let your mom buy you anything?
I love your mom, but no.
Love my mom too, but probably not.
No, that's such a flex.
No, I always wanted to fit. Like I was always like, can't wait till I grow up and I'm fitting my mom's clothes. My mom is this big. I don't fit into any of her clothes whatsoever.
The jeans are like short.
Yeah. Honest to God. When I came to like Liverpool though, because like in Ireland, I was so nervous. I would not have stepped outside the box with
Would
anything.
you
And like,
not?
not even, I don't dress crazy or anything like whatsoever, but people have a lot to say. And I think I just,
Is your town, was it quite
nervous.
small in
yeah, definitely
okay,
like small town vibes.
Yeah.
And everyone just dresses the same. And like, if you don't, not that people are dickheads or anything, like people weren't shouting at me in the street or anything, but you can tell people being like,
of course.
who she thinks she is.
A little side eye kind of
little
thing.
side eye. So whenever I moved, I was like, wait. I was like, I can wear whatever I want.
Yeah.
No one told me this.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
can literally wear what
Like
I
it
want.
feels so new.
It's like when you go on holidays, something like stuff that people look at you in Dublin, in New York, or in London, like all these big cities. You blend in.
Oh yeah.
You think
do
you're wearing something out there. It's not.
No.
It's actually really regular for them.
I just think there's so many people out there. There's someone who's going to be more crazy. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Especially in big cities. Liverpool's the smallest city in the whole world, and I love it so much.
Yeah.
But like moving to Manchester and being in London all the time and stuff, you just do realize like no one cares what you're wearing. Like what you're wearing is the least of anyone else's problems.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everyone's worrying about themselves.
I feel like you always, would you like sit at home and just not dress? I feel like you're always like cool. Are you ever not?
No, I just don't post when I'm not. No. No, I mean, like, if I'm not doing anything, I wouldn't be sat in jeans in my bed. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I'm wearing
What about your
sweats,
jewelry?
so.
Would you be wearing it?
I would always wear my Ireland necklace.
That's
really.
like your
I wouldn't.
staple.
I don't shower my jewelry or anything, but
Yeah.
I would. Like, if I'm getting ready for the day, I'd have my big hoops. Oh my god, I took out my Claddagh earrings on the plane. I didn't put them back in.
Well, you've Claddagh ones in, don't you?
Are these Claddagh?
Yeah, yeah.
Small little ones.
She's making up for it.
I love
Yeah,
little.
thank God.
Love a
I've got my
Claddagh.
tattoos, so it's fine.
Love.
No, yeah, I wouldn't like. I'm not dressing up just to chill, but I do. I love any excuse just to like put on a fun outfit.
Yeah.
It's so good.
So cool. And your tattoos,
Oh, thank you.
are they like, meaning, or you just got them because you like them?
I mean, I got this one.
Is that a
Can you see
seahorse?
Yeah, it's a seahorse.
Oh.
And it's so fun. I love explaining this one. My dad's side of the family would sail and my mum's side ride horses. And then my dad got it first, like the sea and the horse.
Oh, that is gorgeous.
I love it. Most of them do have a meaning. Like, I mean, I've got a star and a wee record player. There's no real reason for that. And then I've got a tramp stamp. So
I love
tramp
the tramp
stamp.
stamp.
red butterfly. It's so
Is
fun.
it?
It reminds me of the girl in Cheap by the Dozen, isn't there, a girl?
I just-
yeah.
And Ted Mosby too.
I
That's
just
what says
love
Who's
it.
Ted Mosby?
that. I met your mother.
Oh fuck yeah!
Yeah, yeah.
You have a tramp stamp?
He's got a butterfly tramp stamp.
Stop it.
Waiting.
And yours is red.
Yeah.
Love.
It's
So
so
nice.
fun. I got it on like a girl's holiday when I was 18 and everyone
Brilliant.
was like, you're going to hate that. And I was like, no,
Yeah,
I'm
fucking
never.
love it.
Yeah.
I don't
And
even really see
also,
it.
it's such an easy place to cover. Who's really going to see? Like, if you want to, like, if
Yeah.
you end
It's
up
really
being
not
it's
that
fine.
deep either. Like,
I'm getting two removed right now.
see, I was going to get, I have a lily. It's my mum's favorite flower, no offense, mum, but like, I
Right.
got it done because I was like, I just really want another tattoo. It was after I'd had like one
Yeah.
or two. And then I hated it. And then I got the red around it to try and like make it look nicer. And it looks like I've taken like a Bic pen and scribbled on my
no,
arm.
I like the red.
I like it.
I've
love
been getting
red
more. I have
tattoos.
my wee Claddagh and stuff, and I have like some on the back of my arm, so I'm like, trying to like
I
just
love
the
the
strap.
Claddagh.
Trying to fill
What
it out.
one was I showing you? An Irish one I wanted the other day. What was it?
Was it words?
Was it a stamp? Like the Irish stamp?
I love
or-
that. Like, it
Oh,
has
like a- with
Ireland
the little
inside.
legs. Yeah,
something.
that'd
I
be
think
so
she had a
cute.
harp as well, and one of them I was like, I want to get. I'm feeling like this year's going to be very patriotic.
Very. I think
Yeah.
everyone's getting
Very.
very patriotic.
Yeah,
I love
to see
it.
it. It's
Yeah,
amazing.
we love it.
Brilliant, isn't
Yeah.
it?
I don't understand people being like, oh, like, you know, everyone just hopping on the trend. Why would you not want Irish culture to be trending?
Do you know what I mean?
Like,
Yeah.
it's so amazing.
It's so cool. We're such
the
a
culture's
tiny little
amazing.
country, and
Yeah.
where we're from affects so much of the world.
yeah.
We were talking about for like St. Patrick's Day. Think of how much of the world celebrates that.
It's
I got
insane.
an email out from a brand. It was like for clothes. It was like St. Patty's Day outfits. And I was like, please.
PATTY.
Paddy's. It's
Oh
Patty.
no, Patty.
Like,
I was like, no.
This is what I don't get.
Patty and
You
Selma.
can't just take our holiday and change it.
Yeah.
Like,
No.
but that's what I don't understand about brands. Obviously, it's so amazing for brands to want to work with you and stuff. And like any brand that would message me, I'd be like, oh my God, this is so surreal and
Yeah.
stuff. Like, obviously, but if someone sent a professional email and they don't fact check,
Oh
No, this is like this was like
bothers
because
me
I
a
bought
lot.
from the
No.
site. You know the promo emails you get.
Oh,
So
right.
it wasn't for an ad.
For-
But yeah,
right,
but
right.
yeah, there's that.
That
They
makes
send the
more
wrong
sense as
name.
well.
Or they're like,
people
hi.
get my name wrong every
Yeah,
time.
yeah.
And I'm like, and they're like, oh, we're such huge fans, Mia. And I'm like,
How you know?
that's not even my name.
Yeah.
So-
Would you be quite like selective in like brands that you work
Oh,
with and
yeah.
things? Yeah.
Would
Big
you?
time, super
Yeah.
selective.
Yeah.
I just think because it's so obvious when you're watching someone that you're like, they would never spend their money there.
No.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
they would
you
never
can
actually buy
tell.
it, so why would I trust them?
You can see
Mhm.
right through people sometimes.
I think people have gotten
Yeah.
smarter as well, consumers, because back in like when you think of YouTube ads back in the day, and YouTubers are like, they would never.
No.
They're like,
Yeah.
here's this face.
But
cleanser
even the
thing, like-
stuff like you would have done years ago, like I remember doing like Snapchat takeovers on like brands. Snapchat
Oh my God, I've
accounts.
done that.
That was such a thing.
Yeah.
I wasn't in social
And you'd be
media that
logging
way.
in like, what's some of these brands? And you're just like, what am I doing? Like, I
think as well when you
weird.
start like being paid for something online feels like the craziest thing ever.
It's like daylight robbery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're like, maybe I should do this. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah.
always selective. Remember, like my first ever paid ad was an app, and it was basically like Be Real, but it was like a off-brand version of
like,
Be
oh,
Real. And I
wow.
was like, I got paid 150 quid to do it, and I was like, this is insane. Like, I can't believe people make their money from this.
Yeah,
Like,
of course.
and it was like something that I would never post now. Do you know what I mean?
I
But I was
know.
like, but like all the followers were like, oh my God, an ad. Like, happy day.
And
No,
it's
that's so
it's
nice.
really hard, especially at the start. Like when something comes in and you want to get paid for it, like maybe it's not necessarily something you'd immediately reach
Yeah.
for, but like you
Yeah.
you want to,
exciting.
yeah, you're so excited for it. Like,
Yeah.
but now it definitely is about being more selective. And what about like events
Savvy,
and
yeah.
things?
I never
Like,
go to events.
You don't, yeah.
Like
I'm terrible.
ever. I just get so scared.
So do I've
Yeah.
gotten worse as the years have gone on. When I started this years ago, I would have gone to the opening of a fucking
an envelope.
envelope.
Yeah.
Would have gone to everything, would have been grand going on my own. The older I get, I feel like I'm going into like, is it called regression or something?
Yeah.
I swear to, I hate people.
I think
hate
people
things.
think if you're doing social media, you have to be so extroverted. And I am a really
Yeah.
extroverted person, like face to face.
Yeah.
Mm.
But like other people who are on social media and stuff, I just get so nervous. Like when
No.
people come up to me and stuff, I get
I'm
so
extroverted
nervous.
after I bought a
Yeah.
Prosecco. No
Oh,
bother.
yeah.
Yeah,
Fuck
absolutely
to
no
anyone.
problem.
I'd be interviewing Robert Pattinson in the right
Oh,
context.
other than that, then I'm like Charlene's like my comfort blanket. Constantly, sit beside me. No,
Yeah, well,
well,
that's what I
sitting
mean, 'cause
across
I
from
don't
me
have
at an
that
event the
either.
other day, and she took a video of me, and I was like,
And she's like, yeah, it's tough.
human. Yeah,
Because I don't know anyone either. Like,
It's so
I don't
nerve-wracking,
know
though.
TikTokers or anything. So like when I go, I'm on my own.
Of course.
It's so scary.
But I feel like it's a really unnatural thing that like not a lot of people really talk about. That like just because you're all kind of in the same industry
Doesn't mean
doesn't mean you're all going to naturally get along. It's just
Yeah, that's true.
you put 40 girls in a room, you're bound to not like one of them.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
or like not
Yeah, of
not even
course.
not like
Yeah.
but like not gel.
Yeah.
Well,
And then there is
everyone.
some people that you meet along the way and you're like, you're not a real person.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like some people are just AI?
fake.
But, like, I find
not
it
fake,
so
like,
weird.
actual AI. Like.
Yeah, like Lil Michaela.
Robot. Like,
But
yeah.
it's so, I find it so weird, like, because I've started trying to post on YouTube. So I'm trying to stay consistent. So I'm trying to like video and stuff. I just get, whenever I go to anything, I mean, I never go to events. I think I've been to two in my life. But I went to a movie premiere the other week. I was so brave in London.
Oh.
And everyone like had their,
London especially big one there.
yeah. I was this close to Robert Pattinson, Toni Collette, Naomi Aki. They were all just stood in front of me. Like, oh, it was actually the craziest experience of my whole life.
Did you get photos or were you just like, no?
Yeah, no, not with him.
You did?
Oh, you crazy. But like everyone, obviously this is their jobs, so like I wouldn't put it past anyone. But like they've got these big camera bags, and they come and they bring out like a huge tripod, and they set it down smack bang in the middle of the premiere, and just walking around filming their TikToks. And like respect the grind, but I could never do that.
couldn't.
I would die.
Some of it is mad that you see.
It is.
You're like, what?
Like,
It's kind of dystopian sometimes.
I wish I could wake
I
up
love
with
it.
that confidence. Like,
Yeah.
God,
but it's
yeah.
also it's confidence sometimes. Sometimes it's like you're actually in
Arrogant.
way. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
There's a fine line.
Sometimes I'm
between
like, okay, but no one can walk past, and you're
Yeah.
actually taking
Yeah.
up a whole room space.
And
Yeah.
they do that and then they leave too. Do you know, like the amount of people that just went and then didn't even watch the movie. I was like, this movie's not even out yet.
Wow.
Why would you not watch it?
Oh, so
And then-
just
but
went to
then
the carpet and
They come on and they're like,
went
I
and took
love that
pictures and
film
then
so
left.
much.
Yeah, posted on
what?
TikTok being like best movie ever, and I was like, you weren't even there.
Oh
Like,
wow,
it's crazy.
that is.
It's so fun
sad.
having like a wee bit of inside gossip.
Sometimes
Yeah,
it's, I feel like it's the men a lot of times.
Oh yeah,
I
well,
feel like fuck that. I'm not
Yeah.
going that whole thing.
Obviously, it's fucking
Yeah.
yeah,
I wanna watch
it's
it all.
surprise.
Speaking, we were talking about Claddagh. I loved your TikTok of when you turned the Claddagh around. You were like, what did you say? You're like, I'm gonna turn this around when I go to your breakup. And then
I
you're
saw
just
it.
like,
That was so fun.
It was
Like,
so
'cause I remember
good.
I posted it and like my best mate is in the background, and I was like, oh, if we ever break up, I'm gonna turn this around. And she was like, yeah, you should.
Yeah.
I was like, this is how I'm gonna announce it. And then whenever I posted the actual video, everyone was like, they thought that she was my ex-girlfriend, and so they were like, that's so rude of your ex, like being like, yeah, you should.
Yeah,
Like,
you
she was
should.
planning to
yeah,
break
yeah,
up.
yeah,
And I
planning
was
it.
like, no, that's not my ex.
oh my
like I had to like
God.
explain it in all the comments. That was so fun though. And then I did it again when I met my boyfriend. I like switched it
And
back
put it
on.
back
It's so
on.
awesome.
Oh.
And would you find when you enter your breakup, did you find that a lot with people being like invested in wanting to know? Like, was that
were they very
like,
inquisitive? Like,
yeah, and like can't blame people for being curious because if I see anyone break up, I'm like, I need to know when and why.
We always say that.
So like obviously,
there needs to be a new rule that you have to like tell us all the details, post it on your story or something.
Yeah, 100%.
Just so we all know.
I kept saying to people, I was like, there is literally no drama, and I was like, I would tell you.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I was like, I'm not even trying to be. I'm not protecting anyone. Like there just was nothing, and he never like. I was so surprised how much people cared because he would barely ever even be in my TikToks.
Right.
We met before I started posting. He wasn't in social media. I didn't even have like Instagram or anything. Like it really wasn't a public relationship.
Even it wasn't like an online relationship thing.
Not at all.
Yeah.
And so I was
How long
so
were you
shocked.
together?
Like a year and a half.
Okay.
Sometimes the less you show, the more people are like,
yeah, they're like, because what's really going on.
Yeah.
So people were like, obviously there was something behind the scenes, and people would like be in my comments being like, she obviously cheated on him, or like I heard he cheated on her.
They literally make
and
it
it's
about their
crazy.
ass. Yeah.
They run with their own narrative, and sometimes it's funny to just let them be like,
Yeah, I was like,
Yeah.
sure, that happened.
Yeah.
People being like, well, I saw her boyfriend on Hinge, and I was like, he's not my boyfriend. He can do what he wants.
Oh
like,
my
do you know what I mean?
God.
People just try and get a rise out
I
of you.
hate that.
And I
'cause
fall for it. every
even
time.
though things can end good, it's like you still don't want to know. It's not great.
Yeah.
Like it's none of my business.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
care what
Yeah,
he's up to.
yeah.
It's not natural, I don't think, to
Yeah.
know
I
about your
know.
ex's life and what's
No.
going on.
I just kept being like, there's literally no drama. I'm not trying to protect anyone here.
Yeah.
There's just nothing. Like,
That's
nothing
nice
bad
as
to say
well.
about him. Yeah, no, he was a gent. Like,
Ah.
And you're now
People
back
just-
in love with someone.
I'm in love. Thank God we can talk about this.
And is he Irish, English? Is he?
No,
Where's
he's
he from?
English, isn't he? Yeah.
Sorry. No, he's from. I couldn't do the Irish voice anymore.
Could you not?
I couldn't.
Who else said that to us recently?
Oh,
Beth.
Beth.
Yeah.
Her boyfriend
Like,
thinks
no,
too.
Beth
Yeah,
that. Yeah, sick of
Her-
Irish.
yeah, she got brought to doing donuts in a car when she was like, do you know what?
I listened to that episode the other
Yeah.
day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like that's just their go-to though. Like whenever you ask like anyone in England about spins, they're like, "What are spins?" And I'm like,
Oh, to go on a spin?
yeah, like I went
dream.
spins with them. That was like my first 17 dates.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh my God.
So how awkward they'd be. You just be in the car with
She's
someone.
spinning around.
you'd
Yeah.
be like slowly unbuckling your seatbelt, just waiting for them to kick you. Like, that's all you do. Didn't get along with any of them because they all were the worst ever.
Oh.
No, yeah, he's English. He's great. He's so
You
amazing.
just had like an invisible string.
It's actually, I mean, I love to say this about everyone because I'm like, everything's connected all
It
the time
is,
anyway. But
yeah.
like, it's such a funny story because we met through a friend and I've been friends with his best mate for years. Like, I was on psychology with him. So we've been friends for like 3 or 4 years now.
Mhm.
And the four of us, like him, his best mate, and then me and my best mate's off, would all like do stuff together.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because me and the other fellow were friends.
Yeah.
Right.
And I remember, like, people are gonna be like, oh, that's so weird and all, like, probably, but like I've got with his best mate and he asked Saf on a date, really. Like,
Okay.
so it's
Your boyfriend now asked your best friend on a date.
my best friend who I lived with for 5 years. So I started to fight about that last night.
Yeah,
Obviously, yeah,
You can
yeah.
bring that up anytime. You're allowed.
Yeah. But every time I do, he goes,
Right.
you kiss my best friend. And I'm like,
Oh, fuck.
Touche.
but it's so funny because I was always like, whenever, like, Saf didn't want to go because she was like not interested in him.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
God. And I was like, why would you not be interested in him? I was like, he's so fit, he's so funny, like such good crack and all. I was like, you're so crazy. And
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
was like, he's like, okay. And then I remember like after we'd moved into our current flat, this is in maybe like August, so we only started going out in October. And in like August, we were talking about that, and I was like, I still don't get why you wouldn't have gone out with Mikey. And she was like, he's just more your type. Like, he's not my type. Like, he's more your type and all. And I was like, so true. I was like, noted. He's mine now.
Yeah.
So
Basically.
And then how
I
did
got
you
it.
start like actually like yous becoming a thing?
yeah, well, I was going down to London. This is another funny story because the last time we saw each other before he moved from Liverpool back to London was maybe like 2023 June. So I had just started posting on TikTok, and I remember I was like, oh, I'll not see you maybe ever again. Like, it was good knowing you kind of thing. And he was like, no, we'll see each other at a TikTok event. And I was like, why would we see each other at a TikTok event? I think I had like 20K at the time, but I was like not thinking that I was going to do anything with it really.
Yeah.
And he didn't repost on TikTok either. And I was like, oh yeah, maybe, haha. And then
You just think like good one. Like,
yeah, like I never thought anything of it.
Yeah.
And then when I was going down to London in October was for a TikTok thing. And I was like, text my friend being like, hey, I'm going to be in London this day. And he was like, sure, just come to ours, stay the night. and we'll all go out. And I was like, oh, happy days, because I would never have texted Mikey, like, because we weren't friends like that. We were just like acquaintances. So I texted my other mate, and then I like went to drop my bag off before we went and met them, and then it was just us in the flat for like an hour, and we were just chatting and falling in love.
That's so cute.
And then it was just so lovely. I don't know. And we were both like talking about how we were so like over it. And I was like, I'm deleting all my apps. Like, and we were talking about how we would never ever do any sort of distance. I was like, I'd never go out with someone in London. I'd never go out with someone in Ireland. Like, you know, I need someone in my pocket. Yeah. And he was like, oh, Jenna, like that's so far.
And then you're doing basically mini long. Well, it's long distance too.
It's like medium, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like, but neither of us have any patience, so it's not really any distance at all. We see there's like everywhere.
That's nice though as well.
I know, and we're so new. So like it's all just like, it's literally so incredible and amazing.
So fun.
Like,
has you met your family and everything?
No, he hasn't met my family yet. He hasn't been to Ireland because he's working full time and stuff.
Okay.
Home, but I've met his a few times.
Like summer trip to Ireland.
Yeah. I was like, I'll come home for Easter, and then I was like, I don't know if Easter Sunday is maybe the best person, English person going, you know.
It's a bit somber Easter Sunday.
Yeah. Not even that, but like if he's just, I feel like he might stick out like a sore thumb for in Carlingford or something, and then he's the only English person in the whole
true. Maybe a different
Yeah. I'm just protecting him.
Is he from London? Yeah.
He's from London.
And he posts, so did he only start posting on TikTok then not that long ago?
He's posted like, he kind of has posted here and there for a few years, and then, but like was never, and then he works in social media. So he started posting more because he works for like, he would be like social media manager of like different brands kind of thing.
Oh, wow.
So he would like post his own stuff along with that. But then obviously he was just like, I started posting fit checks with them and all, and immediately people found his, like I remember I posted a video on our like first date, which I'm so private about. People never think that I'm telling the truth when I say this, but I'm so private about my actual private life. Do you know what I mean? So is every person online, and no one ever believes any of us. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, you tell what you want to do.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. But I posted a video of him on like our second date and was like, never going on Hinge again. Like no Hinge involved whatsoever. But like it was just funny, and it was him like doing a run up to go bowling, and his face was barely in it. I didn't tag him. There was nothing. He was never mentioned anywhere. And after 5 minutes, the search was his full name.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
How did
his full government name?
I think it might be if people saw you out. But then how did they find his name then actually?
It also, like, I remember I was seeing someone in the summer, and like we had been on like maybe 3 dates. I didn't have him on any social media. I didn't have an Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, anything.
So they couldn't
only
check your
had his phone number. Only had his phone number. Didn't follow him. Yeah, couldn't check my followers, whatever. And I never ever mentioned him online. Not even being like, I went on a date today. Like, it was literally so private. And someone commented on my live his name.
See, that freaks me out.
Like, and he was Australian, so he doesn't even have, and he didn't like, it wasn't, we had no mutual friends, like he didn't live in the area. Yeah, like, it was him. It actually probably was. I was freaking out about it. So weird.
That is crazy.
There's no privacy.
I hate when that little search bar thing comes up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that mean that's what people are searching on TikTok?
That's like the most popular.
Does that mean they're searching after they've just watched the video? Is that
fuck's sake?
Yeah.
Mine's always bullshit. Like, it's always.
Oh, if I look at mine, I get annoyed. I have to scroll off it.
Mine's Aoife O'Farrell Claddagh so often.
Is it?
Yeah.
Nice. It's a good one. Yeah.
Mine's very much a mix of men.
Yeah.
I don't know what mine would be. Mine doesn't really come up that much.
Mine does. It's so annoying.
Yeah.
Maybe, but it could just be one person searching. I always think.
I know. And if no one else is really searching.
You have to be delusional sometimes on Instagram. I'm just like,
myself.
Or if some video shares, I'm like, they're obviously all saying really nice.
They're obviously.
Yeah, they're like, I love your outfit.
Yeah. But if not, you burn yourself into a hole.
I saw a video of a girl the other day, and she was saying that was it her friend or something? Someone had just started social media, and she was like giving advice or something, and she was like, I'm going to give you the cold, honest truth. Like, any shares on your TikTok
are probably bad.
They're bad. They're people slagging you. And I was like, why would you say that?
Why would you say that? Yeah, I think just
also
the opposite. Be like, yeah, it's good.
When you think of like, I share stuff all the time that I'm not bitching people.
Same.
I'm like, this
I'm
was
just
so
like, or I love that
outfit.
That
like,
top and something. Yeah,
I think that's a really bad take.
Yeah, isn't it?
Just me.
She's like, it's all bad. So you just need to get your head around it at the beginning, because then, like, in the future, when there's more shares, it won't hurt you as bad. That's fucking terrible advice.
I suppose like whatever helps you sleep at night. But I wouldn't want to think about that.
Oh no,
that wouldn't help me.
I'd be sobbing crying.
That would put me into a great depression.
No, I'd be sobbing.
But have you noticed the difference, obviously, with Mikey being English and Irish boys? You were saying you're sick of Irish ones, but like
sick of Irish.
I mean, like I don't know. I was seeing an English guy one time. but like short term. So not like boyfriend. So boyfriend vibes, is it like different?
I mean, I have lived in England for 5 years now.
True.
So like
you're used to it.
my ex was English.
Yeah.
And like most of the fellas I'd been seeing were English. So I wouldn't even say, I mean, I wouldn't put it past any fella to be a dickhead. Like it's not, you know, it's not Irish boy exclusive. But definitely, it depends how you were raised, really. That's
the crack different?
He's way more crack than any Irish boy I've seen. No, not than Irish boys in general, because obviously Irish people have better crack than anyone. I'm not saying English people are better.
Obviously we do.
We win. But he is hilarious.
Oh, that's so good.
Like he is so funny. Like no one. I kind of like. I would have thought, just boys in general aren't that funny usually. Like
we bring the funny.
Obviously, I would have always put girls and boys in a separate category, that I'd be like, my girls make me laugh so much, and I was like, a boy will never make me laugh that much.
Like, true.
Do you know the crack you have with your girls is going to be different to any relationship? But he makes me laugh so much, and he thinks I'm hilarious.
Oh, brilliant.
So
I love that.
Win-win.
Why is that the biggest compliment ever if someone finds you funny?
Like he'd be like, whenever he describes me, he's like, she's so funny, and I'm like,
you're like,
he thinks I'm funny.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got plans to move in together, do you think soon?
Oh God, we only met.
True, yeah.
No, I'd move in with him tomorrow.
Would you?
Like, I'm not even.
Oh, I thought you said you were. I was like,
no, God, I wish. But I'm so like, God, if we break up, I'm never gonna watch this episode ever. But we're never allowed to break up. I don't know. Like, I've never been like. I never would have seen myself with someone long term. Like any boyfriend I've been with in the past. I mean, I've only had like one proper relationship, but I would have always been like, we're gonna break up. Like, we're not gonna get married. I don't really see myself getting married. I don't want kids. Like any of that stuff and all. And I never really would have like strong feelings for anyone. I just was like, I just not that focused on boys. Like I don't know. Like I just have so much love in my life that I wasn't that worried about. Like
they were just like a little thing on the side.
Addition. Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like grand. I would never go out with someone who didn't make me happy or anything. But
of course.
But like he, like Maggie, is so wonderful, and like it's just so fun. Like, do you know what I mean? Like I mean, it's also, I feel like so silly. Everyone's always like, you only just met, and I'm like, oh, we've known each other for years. Like we have known each other for years, and I always thought he was so funny and all. And I'm just like, this is so crazy. If you had told me like 2 years ago, I would have been like, I would have been buzzing.
Yeah, so nice that you knew. It's like you, because you knew.
I knew Graham years ago when I was a teenager, and he hated me. And he'll admittedly say that he just
why.
He hated girls where I was from. He thought we were all just stuck up ourselves. And I was like, fair enough, even though you never ever said hello to me. But
crazy.
Yeah, we knew each other years ago and didn't get along, and then got together last year.
It's so funny.
It's mad.
Like it is so weird when you look back and you're like, that, like, I don't know, like that's the same person.
Yeah, we went through a phase of always saying, who would have thought? We all like, we could be fucking doing a food shop or like just out doing anything. We both just kind of look at each other like, come on, who would
genuinely? I'm always like, so did you always think I was pretty? I'm like, when did you realize that you love me?
What did you think when you first saw?
So ridiculous.
Dad said it to me before. He's like, who would have thought? Me from Ballymun and you from Templo. I was like, I literally, we live 20 minutes down the road. Like, he's acting
long
like he's
distance
from the back of nowhere. Like,
as if
it's
two different ends of the country.
If he's from fucking
That's how it feels in Ireland though. Like long distance would have been like Armagh to Belfast, and I'd be like, no way I'm doing that. Like not a chance.
How far away is that?
Like driving maybe an hour. Like
it is kind of like it's
still,
especially when you're like 16, you don't drive.
I know,
and you have to get like
public transport in Ireland.
Yeah, it's more the fact as well. You can't just jump in your car and be like, right, we're there in 10 minutes.
Yeah,
no, that's so handy to be able to do.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, like I can't do that at all now. Like 2 hours on the train at the minimum.
But you do it for love. It's fine.
It's so worth it.
I like the train too because you can just chill on the train.
Yeah, nice. And like I feel like a proper social media person. I like edit on the train sometimes.
Oh, love it.
Yeah,
and you know you're about to see him as well.
Oh, it's so fun.
Yeah,
it's just my weekend so much better whenever I know that we got plans.
So do you see him every weekend?
No, like not every weekend. We also I really actually enjoy away like the medium distance and stuff because I'm so independent and I love my own time and I wouldn't want to like be filling all my time with a fella and then not be hanging out with my friends or anything. Do you know what I mean? Like I really like that we have completely separate lives and then we just get to like
love
find
that.
them. Yeah. It's so good.
Mix of both.
Yeah,
you need it.
It's so good in between. Yeah. But if he was going to move to Manchester tomorrow, I would be thrilled.
Yeah, you can live in my room.
In my room.
You speak a lot online about like therapy, and you've also said that you suffered before from eating disorder. What has something you've learned in therapy been? Is that like how you've become so wise as well as psychology.
Wise old owl. Yeah,
I'm like, I just watch your playlist of advice. I'm like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I watch it too sometimes.
So, yeah, for yourself.
Oh, God, I need that.
I need it
So
again.
good.
Like, I'm by no means like actually, do you know, I always go like I'm so wise, but like obviously I'm taking the piss. Like I don't really know. But like, I would say everyone should do therapy. Like especially living in the UK and Ireland, like it is. So we are so lucky that it's so accessible. And obviously the NHS, like with therapy and stuff, can be a nightmare. But like compared to other countries where you're paying hundreds and hundreds of pounds a session, like it's a lot more accessible than other places. And like so many unis and stuff have like free therapists and all, which is class. But I think just like getting to know yourself is so, like therapy is so good for that. I think with psychology, one of the most important, and I'm actually a broken record with this, but the most important thing I ever learned about like getting out of an eating disorder and stuff is that your brain doesn't really know when you're taking the piss. Like, so if you're constantly telling self-deprecating jokes, you will start to believe it. And obviously there's scientific terms for this and all. I'm not going into it, but like the more you go, like I'm a fat whale or like I'm the ugliest girl in all the land, like you do start to believe that.
Your brain will actually start
and it starts that becomes your truth.
Wow.
You know, 'cause it's the same people say about like manifesting and stuff and the law of attraction and positive affirmations. It's the exact same thing. So if you're sitting going like, I am literally the most beautiful girl that's ever walked this earth, even as a joke, the more you say it, the more you believe it. Like
so you can do both scales, but like you can do your positive affirmations and manifestation and all good stuff, but you can also do the other way.
The other way by accident too.
Yeah.
Wow.
And like the thing is, you're never, as long as you will live, you will never have another body or another face. And like, so why, and it's so much easier said than done, but now that I'm at the other end of it, I look back and I'm like, why would I even waste my time being like, well, I wish I looked like this, I wish I looked like this. Like at the end of the day, I'm 5'4", I'm not going to have Kendall Jenner's legs. And that's actually okay.
Yeah.
And like, we all look different, but that's so good.
Yeah.
Why would you want to look like everyone else? I say that as a white blonde girl. Do you know what I mean? Like, I do look like a lot of people. But like, you all look different and that's a good thing. I don't think you should ever want. That's why everyone goes on the comparisons to the Thief of Joy.
I love
as well because I didn't realize that like not that long ago. It was like some people's bodies you actually genetically will never be able to look like. You can't, like Kendall Jenner's body will never be mine. No, literally 6 foot. The way she's structured, like that's just not going to be me ever. So like once you know that, I think you're just like,
and like your uniqueness is what makes you you. So like why would you? You know, this is your home. Like you actually live in your body, and all the cringe stuff that people say is the stuff that works. Yeah, like you have to live in this body, and if you have your health and stuff, and I know it's so easy to say, but like if you do have your health and a working pair of legs, and you know you're able to do stuff day to day, and you're able to eat and choose not to eat, as opposed to not being able to afford to eat.
Okay,
like, you know what I mean?
When you put it in perspective, like
like perspective is everything. And I know it's so easy to be like, oh, just be grateful, but like working on gratitude is, for me, the most important thing ever. Because now I look back and I'm like, I've been so lucky and have such a wonderful life and such wonderful people around me. Like, you're the company you keep. If you have really lovely friends, the odds are you're probably quite lovely yourself. Yeah. You know, nobody who's an arsehole has really great, like amazing support systems around.
No.
You know what I mean?
They probably have no friends.
Yeah. They're going great. You know.
What age would have been when you started having an eating disorder? Were you in school?
I did gymnastics
young, like,
for 10 years.
Oh wow.
So
I think that played a part in it.
Yeah, big time.
Did it?
Like, and I loved gymnastics, and I know that like it is literally just the culture of it, and there was no harm done. But like or no harm meant, there was harm done. But like whenever I started, like I remember one of my teachers was like, I was 7 or 8. My mom had brought me in just for like the audition, and one of my teachers was like, "Yeah, we'll have her, like, because she'll look lovely in a leotard, because she's nice and skinny." And I was like, "And that is, you know, it's those things."
And your brain is forming at that age, so you're soaking that all
and like she'd never think that again. And I think it's always the way, like you have, you know, everyone who struggled with their weight and stuff has a list of things that people have said to them that then never leaves their brain. Do you know what I mean? Like everyone and women especially, like we all have stuff that people, like boys and stuff, don't realize the impact of what they're saying.
Years
but
ago.
like and like it would be, you know, if someone gained weight, then they would be maybe like not on the team next year, or like they'd be. It's just like it's a harsh reality, especially in a sport like that. Well, I think it's obviously changing now with people like Simone Biles and stuff, and she's a tank, and she's literally the best gymnast in the entire world. So and she, like whereas it used to be that you had to be this big, and it was so important to be so skinny, and then going to an all girls school and the internet, and you know you're actually just doomed sometimes. But I say probably when I went to uni and I had all the freedom to like do my food shops by myself and stuff, and no one's watching you. Do you know what I mean? Especially in first year, everyone's in their own little bubble and making new friends, and no one knows who you are before you came. Okay. So your habits that you form in first year people wouldn't know if that's like unusual for you. So
of course.
none of my friends in uni would have recognized anything that I was doing was like out of the ordinary for me.
They might have thought you'd done that your whole life.
Yeah. And it's so easy to hide. And that's why I think people are so lonely as well in first year sometimes. Because like I had really great friends that I'm still friends with now that I met in first year of uni. But it's still like, you're still on your own.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've moved away from your family.
It's a whole new life.
It's a whole new life.
Wow.
I just look back and I feel so sad for myself. Like I'm like, you just really, and then you're the worst version of yourself. It's so hard when you're not treating your body right. It completely reflects in your mental state. And I like, my friends will say to me now, they'll be like, I cannot believe that you're the same person. Like they thought that was just me. Do you know, when I was so bitchy and so like moody all the time because I was starving.
Hungry, yeah.
Like I was just hungry. Like me hungry now, I'm like, God, I was like that for like 5 years. Like it's actually awful.
And who noticed it in you then? Because obviously new friends you made wouldn't have known. Any difference? Was it like family that was?
No, because I was like living away and like my family, I don't know, they wouldn't have said anything to me because you know everyone's careful about what they're saying and stuff. But like I remember I went on a girls' holiday after first year and I was just like that holiday I was so awful. Like I kept having panic attacks if we had to eat breakfast together. Like it's actually so insane because now
so sad.
Being out the other end of it, I'm like, I can't, it's so sad I couldn't enjoy myself. Like because I was like, they're gonna see what I'm eating. I'm like, who cares what you're eating?
Yeah.
We go and watch mukbangs now. You know, we want to
literally.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, eat more, quick.
Eat more.
Yeah.
And then I remember I had to leave the restaurant once because I had a panic attack and I like had to walk home and I was like, I just can't be here. And then my friends, like, God love them. They meant so well. And like it was obviously such a brilliant thing. They like pure had an intervention for me.
Did they?
Like you have to go to therapy.
Do you think that was a good thing that they did that for you?
Oh my God, yeah. Absolutely. Like it was Saf who I still live with now. She was like kind of the spokesperson because the other girls were like, you're obviously the closest and like you should be the one to say something. And she just was so sad that she never had realized either. And I was like, I would never have expected you to. You know, I would never want anyone to relate. But like, because she didn't relate, she didn't recognize the signs and stuff, which like, happy days for her. Like, I would never ever hold that against her. But she was like, you have to go to therapy. And I was like, if she's saying this to me, like that would not have been an easy conversation.
Yeah.
I just felt so guilty. I was like, God, she's sitting here worrying about me. And like she's got her own stuff to worry about, you know. Like thank
That's
God
so nice
for
that you
her.
had such a good group.
Yeah, God, I'm so grateful because I wouldn't have done anything about it.
Yeah.
I just would have been like, because it's so easy to think, especially as like growing up, like as women and stuff, everyone's like this.
Yeah.
You know, it's so easy to be like, everyone thinks they're fat and everyone hates themselves. And like, I used to be like, nobody likes what they look like. Like, I was like, no one likes what they look like. That's just normal. Like, it makes me so sad.
Yeah.
Because like, yes, they do.
Yeah.
Like they do.
Yeah.
And people do just eat. Like, I love what I look like now. And I would never think about what I'm eating or anything. And like, it's just so crazy that I wasted so much time. But I suppose that's just all a part of life, isn't it?
Has had any like long-term effects, as in like body-wise? Because I know it can affect certain things.
Yeah.
Like hair and stuff.
Oh God, yeah.
Isn't it?
Oh, thank you. I stopped dyeing it. Yeah, I mean, like my stomach was really messed up for a long time, like because the stuff you do when you have an eating disorder is like obviously just so damaging to your body. Stuff you're putting into it and like stuff you're not putting into it, and like it just was so bad. My stomach for like a good year and a half, even still now, like it's a wee bit messed up, and it's been ages. And yeah, like I remember. This is so embarrassing, but it's really funny. Like my hair, I remember, this is a whole tangent, just by the way.
Go ahead. Don't be silly.
So I was seeing someone in first year and I was like, oh, this is the love of my life, obviously. Saw each other for like 2 months. So obviously I knew that. Me saying that, talking about my family, everyone saying, But whenever we ended because he had got a new girl and I was like, oh, this is because she's skinnier than me. That was my immediate thought. I was like, she's skinnier than me. So like, that's the only reason. Like obviously she's probably just like, he just likes her more. It's actually not that deep. But we all went out on a night out because he was like friends with someone I lived with. I went out on a night out and they were there, the two of them, like him and his new woman. And I was like, I just got so drunk, obviously, as you do.
Yeah.
And I remember she was like the loveliest girl ever. And I was like, fuck, and she's skinnier than me. And I was just raging. And she said to me, she was like, your hair is so gorgeous. Like you've got such lovely hair.
Yeah.
And at the time I was like wearing extensions all the time because my hair was so thin because it was falling out. And then I went home for the summer and all of my hair started falling out. And like, it was just because I wasn't eating. And like, you know, that's what happens. You're not feeding your body right. It shows. Yeah. And I was like, because your brain is so messed up sometimes when you have an eating disorder. And like, I was like, she evil-eyed me. Like, she put the evil eye on me and that's why my hair's falling out.
You were convinced.
And when I tell you, I was convinced, and I convinced Saf, and she was like, you're right, because I was so convincing. I was telling everyone in my life, and I had this wee opal necklace, and then I lost my opal necklace. It was a plastic piece of shit from Etsy. Do you know what I mean? It was like we were all into the crystals. I was charging it in my bird bath at night.
Literally plastic.
Like literally plastic. And I lost it, and I was like, so I got evil eyed, and I lost my opal necklace, and that's what my hair's fall now. Like, girl, just eat.
Yeah.
Just have a burger. Your hair will grow back. It'll be grand.
God.
It's so
crazy.
crazy.
And then your road to recovery, is that just through therapy? Like, and
yeah, I think I just woke up one day and I was like,
that you had a problem as well. Probably.
Yeah. Like learning that that's not normal, because like so many of the women that I grew up around like had their struggles as well, as so many of us do, especially like in Ireland. It's so not talked about. You know, that kind of thing. I think
you're the only Irish influencer I've seen that's spoken about eating disorders.
And it's so prevalent and so common. Like mental health, such a stigma as well. Obviously it's getting better, thank God, but I don't know, like it was just therapy, definitely, because I remember my first ever therapy session, he was like, who's the most important person in your life? And I was like, oh God, I don't know, like my mum. Love my mum, my best friends, and he was like, wrong, you.
Oh,
like it has to be you.
Like shit, wrong answer.
I was like, all right, I'll just go. God, first answer
sorry,
wrong.
I already lost.
God, I suck. God, yeah, no, I love therapy though. It actually changed my life. Like, I'm so grateful for it.
Yeah.
Like, and psychology as well. But so many of the things that I learned in therapy, like, I still think of daily. You know what I mean? Because everyone has up and down. Like,
you really are so wise.
Yeah. And I think you sharing it is so important for Irish people to see, because like that, no one else is talking about it. Like, even little videos you do, like, it makes people think about. Even me, like the little motivational ones you do, like I'm like, oh shit, like it sticks with people. Like things you say will stick with people, and it's really good.
Thank you. Yeah. I mean, I was just like, I'm so glad whenever anyone says to me like that it's helpful, because I think if I had someone just being so, because it's such a sensitive topic, and I think people are afraid to talk about anything because it is, and they don't want to offend people and all. But sometimes
you're really raw with it though, like
I mean, because so many people have dealt with it, and then you meet people who are like, yeah, I had one too, whatever, and they're so casual about it, and I'm like, why do you not see this online? And obviously you do.
Don't.
There are so many brilliant people who do talk about it, but I think especially with Irish creators, it's important too, because
100%.
just so many of us are raised that like the people around us don't even believe in mental health and mental illness, and like being mentally ill is just so normal. But it sounds so crazy to even say that. But it is.
The older generation,
so many
like getting a broken bone or like a sickness, like it's just,
you have to treat your mental health like physical health. You know, a broken leg doesn't heal overnight. So why would your head?
That's so true.
It's crazy.
I think we're like 201 episodes in, and we've never touched on eating disorders. I don't think once.
I'm trying to think. I don't think
we have.
200.
If there is some,
episode 163.
Yeah.
I don't think we have. Like, that's what I mean with anyone. Like,
it's just such a sensitive topic.
Yeah, and it's so
people are
prevalent
afraid to talk about it.
But I think when someone like you've been through it and you're talking about it, it's like people say, "It's like, okay, she can talk about it." So when you say things, it probably isn't as if someone like who didn't was to say something.
Yeah,
be
that
like
makes
more.
Obviously that makes sense. But I remember
so it really helps that you're talking about it.
Someone was like to me, like, I do get a few comments that people are like, well, easy for you to say you're not fat. And I'm like, this is the problem. Like, your size has nothing to do with whether you have an eating disorder or not. Like, you could be this big or you could be massive, and it's nothing to do with that. Like, oh my God.
And also in your head, people's heads can tell them that they are.
Body dysmorphia is one of the main reasons people have eating disorders, you know? And then someone was like to me, well, it's easy for you to talk about it because you don't have an eating disorder. And I was like, yeah, but I
did.
I was like, I couldn't talk like this if I had
if you didn't. Exactly.
I could never talk, and I wouldn't because, you know, I wouldn't feel qualified to have an opinion on it if I was still struggling with it. Obviously, if you are struggling with it, I think you should talk about it and stuff. But I think it was just people are ignorant, and I think that's why people don't talk about it, because they do get comments like that. But I have thick skin, you know.
Do you because you have been through it, can you see like patterns in people? Like a lot of like I see people always say, I can't spot it, but like that a lot of some online coaches and like America and stuff, like, or what they eat in a day is like two raspberries, and like that they actually have disordered eating.
It's so shocking. And I always say, this is a controversial one, people hate it, that I say like a lot of PTs and like fitness boys, like they have eating disorders because they're so, and obviously it's not on me to diagnose anyone, but like being that obsessed with what you're eating and your macros and your calories and stuff and tracking your food that much is disordered eating. You know? And
not normal.
People don't, because if it was a woman doing that, people would call her out for it. But I think like this is why because I get asked for what I eat in a day sometimes, and I'm like, I'll never do that.
Okay.
And I wouldn't put anyone else down for doing it because a lot of people are trained dietitians and stuff. But I think when you have a platform, people compare themselves to you because that's natural. You know, I've been through it, I've done it or whatever, and they're thinking, what is she eating a day? Because I'm going to do that.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat like her.
I do that. I'm going to look like her.
Yeah. I'm going to look like her because that's what you would think. But like everyone's bodies need different things. And like I don't work out. I don't go to the gym or anything. So someone who does exercise every single day would be eating twice as many calories.
Need a lot more.
They need a lot more food, and they could have the exact same. I mean, they probably have a bit more muscle than me, but they could be the same shape, you know.
Yeah.
And I think it's so problematic because you're putting on a show. It's the same as anything. When people do a day in the life, you know, they're not filming a day where they're just lying in bed most of the time. So when you're doing what I eat in a day, it's so performative sometimes. People are like, well, because I'm doing this tomorrow, I'm going to go out and get like a nice healthy dinner and I'm going to get my snacks and it'll be 2 raspberries instead of a dairy milk bar. I used to live with a PT. It was the worst. And he was like, I had just started therapy and he was like, right, everyone in this house is getting healthy. I'm going to start writing our calories on the whiteboard.
Oh no! I was
like,
just eating in front of you, like
you're going to write my calories. I was like, I'd rather get in.
Do yours.
Like, do yours if you want. But I was like, also write it in private. I don't need to see how many calories you're consuming in a day. And he was like, it'll be good for you. And I was like, it'll be good for me to eat a bit more. Thanks.
I never actually thought about that whole like macros thing as like being not normal because it isn't normal to know down to a T.
Like
measuring your Nutella in the morning.
I had my fitness pal when I was like 16.
Did
like
you?
Tracking stuff. No,
were you that young using it?
I'm pretty sure I was really
because it was a trend.
It was a thing, and I used to do your one, Kayla. It's scenes or something. She done like a bikini body. It was called Bikini Body Guides, and she had people on 1,200 calories. I don't think I followed the calories, but like 1,200 calories a day. That's not livable.
Nothing.
That's like you will fade away to nothing.
Like I was doing the Alexis Ren ones and the Chloe Tings and
Chloe
stuff.
Ting, yeah.
Such a thing.
It's mad. Like I know, obviously, personally, if that works for you and like tracking your macros and doing all that, if
of course.
Like, I get it for certain people and
if you're
like
educated on it as
well. If like what I eat in the day is good for you and like you tracking it personally, if it works for you, you stay in your own lane and do that.
Yeah.
But I think this whole narrative now of like it's shoved everywhere.
Promoting under eating. And like as much as, because I'm the first one to be like, you know, people are like, there's kids on this platform, there shouldn't be children watching your videos. But at the end of the day, there are. And like these are young women, and this is the kind of thing that we needed to not be seeing, to not get into the eating disorder ourselves. And I'm just like, it actually just breaks my heart because people are acting like it's normal. And like, why would we ever need to know exactly what someone else is eating?
I think I done it once for YouTube, but I was on like my proper fitness pose. I think at the time I was on like 2,200 calories. So I was like, this is me putting this up is not harming anyone because it's low. It's really low. So if someone copies this, it's actually crap.
Yeah.
But like at the time I was working out so much that I had to eat so much. So I was like, that's actually fine.
So like it's different for everyone. Yeah. You know what I mean?
But like,
I just think
sometimes when it's
really
like
tough.
2 raspberries for breakfast, I'm like, girl.
I just be hungry. I just think it's so important to listen to your body too.
Yeah.
And like even my sister was saying she was trying to look up meals because she's just moved out or she's just moved in with her boyfriend. But she was like, every single meal I see, it just goes on to eating sort of TikTok. Like it's like, eat this if you want to be the skinniest, tiniest little girl slip through the cracks. Do you know what I mean?
Like a dust.
Yeah. Have you seen that girl Liv? She's American and she like I think she had to delete it off TikTok because she was doing it was so bad, which was like
really, really bad.
But people were like, yeah, this is so like people were loving it. But that's why it got deleted because it was like really bad.
I just don't get it. Just like focus on yourself. Do you know what I mean? You know, waste away your 20s or your teenage years following what someone else eats.
And being tired.
You know,
and
being tired. You can't do anything.
Hungry.
You cannot be a good version. You can't even have fun. Do you know what I mean?
No.
If you don't love yourself, like how are you going to love anything?
Yeah.
You know, you're wasting that much time hating yourself that you can't even go out for a coffee with your mates.
Yeah.
Like it's just sad. It's exhausting.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I feel like you'd be so mentally
very like
drained.
Food noisy. Like,
is that what that's called?
Yeah,
I see people talking about that.
And like I think about food a lot, but I'm thinking, when is my next meal?
Yeah, my
like I'm not thinking like fuck, I don't eat today.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Talking about food right now.
I know because the time we came in at was before. I'm gonna have dinner.
A lunch dinner.
Both.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get some and then I'll get a takeaway when I get home.
Do it.
Yeah. But moving on from that was a nice chat.
I like that.
Sorry, I could yap forever.
No, but I think that will really like help people. And
definitely.
Like it's just because it's so much more prevalent than people even think. I think people think you have to be like a certain weight or have a certain amount of thought or certain amount of this, but like there's so many different types of disordered eating that are in between all these
like,
big.
You literally just, I don't know, you're as beautiful as you think you are. If you start being like, I am the best looking person in this world, you'll start to believe yourself. And if you just like fake it till you make it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You walk in and think I'm the shit, people treat you that way. Because I look pretty much the same as I did when I was sick, and then people were calling me ugly back then, and now they're not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
not that I never get called ugly, like I'm on the internet. So, but like, you know, the reaction you get is very, very different if you're a confident woman.
When you have that about yourself.
100%.
Aoife O'Farrell, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Give us your social media handles.
Oh yes, it's just Aoife O'Farrell is my my TikTok.
Oh, we never
name
mentioned
is
your
Mia
name.
Khalifa. But the username's Aoife O'Farrell, and so is my Instagram. Okay.
That was it for today's episode.
That's us, folks.
Such a nice chat.
Yes.
Love her even more.
Oh, brilliant.
Now.
I want a Claddagh tattoo now.
Literally. Makes me want to be more patriotic. I actually don't own anything Claddagh.
Oh, you need.
I need maybe a Claddagh engagement ring.
Oh!
Imagine. That'd be really cute. I used to have one, and then I had to get cut off because it swelled to my finger, and my neighbour had to come over with a what's called pliers.
Yeah, pliers.
Chop it off. My finger went all red, and we tried butter, oil, every soap, everything to get off, and it just wouldn't.
Yikes!
And it was that's why this finger is skinnier at the bottom, because I used to wear it, so it got like.
Sure, that one still has. Look at the mark, like you can see like an indent into it. Look at the difference of them two.
Yeah.
Anywho,
that was it. We'll see you on Monday.
See you then.
Love you. Bye.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the GoLoud app.